Just Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Hi there, I'm your host, Fondue. In this week's episode, we're going to celebrate National Cheese Pizza Day. We're going to talk about flatulence in cheese.
Sorry.
We're going to learn who cut the cheese in a supermarket.
What?
We're going to provide a public service announcement.
We are?
And of course, we're going to tell a very cheesy joke.
Oh, yeah.
Stay tuned for Season 2, Episode 16 of Just Cheesy, the podcast. So cheesy, did you know that September 5th is National Cheese Pizza Day?
It is?
This is not to be confused with National Pizza Day, which is on February 9th.
Oh.
This is National Cheese Pizza Day.
Ooh.
According to nationaltoday.com, the origin of pizza may date back as far as ancient Greece,
Whoa.
when they used to cover bread with oil, herbs, and cheese.
Yum.
The pizza that we know now was first created in Naples, Italy, and it used the highest quality buffalo mozzarella. What's known as the margherita pizza was created in 1889.
Wow.
The first documented pizzeria in the U.S. didn't come to the United States until 1905.
Really?
The establishment was called G. Lombardi's, and it was in New York City.
Oh.
But it wasn't until 1939 that pizza made its way all the way to Los Angeles.
Wow.
It was the D'Amore family that introduced pizza to Los Angeles.
Wow.
And pizza's popularity rose dramatically after World War II when veterans returned home from the Italian campaign.
Really?
And according to this article, two men, Dan and Frank Carney, in 1958 borrowed just $600 from their mom and opened the first ever Pizza Hut in Kansas.
Holy cow.
And today, the pizza industry in the U.S. is worth over $40 billion per year.
Holy cow.
And according to historyofcheese.com, the most popular examples of cheeses that are used as pizza toppings are mozzarella,
Okay.
provolone,
Okay.
cheddar,
Yeah.
Parmesan,
Sure.
Emmental, Romano, and ricotta.
Yum.
But of course, mozzarella is the most popular.
Of course.
30% of all pizzas produced in the United States use mozzarella cheese.
Really?
And according to the article, back in 1997, they say the U.S. produced more than 2 billion pounds of pizza cheese, while Europe only produced 200 million pounds.
Whoa.
It says here that the second most popular cheese is provolone.
Of course.
But they describe another type of pizza cheese. It's called processed pizza cheese.
Oh.
It says here that it's often called analog pizza cheese.
Analog.
The processed cheese is pasteurized.
Okay.
It's made to become moist
Yeah.
and easy to chew as soon as it's unfrozen.
Okay.
They say it has a soft and stringy texture. It's mild,
Ooh.
artificially flavored in order to hold the aroma and taste of famous cheeses such as provolone, mozzarella, and cheddar.
Wow.
And it says here the largest manufacturer of pizza cheese is Leprino Foods Company, headquartered in Denver, Colorado. It's been around since 1950 as a family-owned business, and they create more than 600 tons of pizza cheese per year.
Whoa.
Leprino Foods, not a sponsor.
Nope.
But if they were, their ad would go right here. It's time for our first ever public service announcement. According to FoodSafetyNews.com, Keswick Creamery of Newburgh, PA is recalling some cheeses because of possible listeria.
Oh, no.
The cheeses were distributed in Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, and Pennsylvania. It's important to note that at this time, no illnesses have been reported.
Whew, good.
But listeria can sometimes be life-threatening, and food contaminated with it may not look or smell spoiled.
Oh.
If you believe you've eaten any of the food contaminated by listeria, you should continue to monitor yourself for up to 70 days. That's 70.
70?
Because it can take that long for exposure to listeria to show symptoms.
Oh, my.
Those symptoms are vomiting,
Ew.
nausea,
Oh.
fever,
Oh, no.
muscle ache,
Ew.
severe headache, and neck stiffness.
Oh, my.
We have included a link in this week's show notes to the FDA's announcement.
Good.
Now it's time for my favorite segment.
This week in cheese.
According to Indy100.com and theweek.co.uk, TikTok user @PlasticAmy has been known to fart in the cheese section of posh supermarkets. She told her 360,000 followers, I quote, "I like farting in the cheese section of posh supermarkets." And she said she likes to hear the snooty people talk about how amazing the fresh cheese smells.
Oh my.
She claimed a shopper said they could smell the fresh scent of the French countryside.
Ew.
And she said she was flattered. We're not entirely sure the origin of Amy's flatulence.
Right?
But according to healthfully.com, there could be several different causes.
Okay.
Cheese contains lactose, a natural sugar found in milk products, but it can be difficult for some people to digest.
Really?
When people have lactose intolerance, it's because they lack an enzyme called lactase, and this allows them to digest lactose.
Okay.
When they have a problem absorbing that lactose, the undigested parts cause pain, diarrhea, gas, and bloating.
Gas.
For people with IBS or irritable bowel syndrome,
Bow. Ew.
the high fat in cheese actually exacerbates symptoms like bloating.
Oh.
And for those with milk allergies, the symptoms go from mild to severe.
Really?
It can be more mild, like hives, or serious, like anaphylactic shock.
Whoa.
And according to GI.org, the website for the American College of Gastroenterology, in a section called Belching, Bloating, and Flatulence, we learn a little bit about the differences of the three.
Okay.
Belching is a normal process when we swallow air.
Burp.
Bloating refers to a sense of fullness in the upper abdomen, and flatulence refers to...
Farting.
That's right, farting.
You said farting.
It says here, many patients experience abdominal cramps, bloating, and flatulence
Farts.
when they ingest milk, certain cheeses, or ice cream.
Really?
And for those complaining of excessive gas,
Farts.
or maybe Amy,
Wow.
they can benefit from keeping a flatus diary for 3 days. The time of each gas passage for food and meal can be noted.
Fart diary.
Gas passages can be compared to published normal flatus frequency.
Normal flatus.
And it's also important to know, according to this part of the website, it says belching and flatulence are normal body processes.
On that note, I'm ready for a joke, Fondue.
Okay, what does someone who eats beans and a cheesemonger have in common?
I have no clue.
Both are known to cut the cheese. Get it? Cut the cheese.
Ha. Ha ha ha. Not funny.
It may not be funny, but it's a little bit cheesy. Thanks for listening to Just Cheesy the Podcast,
Thank you.
Season 2, Episode 16. Join us next week as we talk about National Cheese Toast Day.
Yum. Stay cheesy, everybody.